Oh, man. I don't know when the Broncos are going to beat like a division team, a division rival, besides the Chargers. Like, every time we play the Chiefs, it's like something we can very easily win, and we just let it slip away. Every time. Every time. And this was no different. No different. Oh, man. But there was some good games this week. You know, there were some really good ones. A lot of upsets. A lot of close games. Big injuries, though. But we're going to get into all of that. I will say this is going to be an interesting next week, though. But we're going to get into all of that later. Disgrace. Y'all peep these uniforms, though. These are probably the best uniforms in the league. I ain't going to lie. Those are clean. Very clean. They should just stick to the white helmets. That's a nasty combo. That is a nasty combo. But yeah. First game of the week. I mean, we're just going to get through it. Typically, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Today's going to be the first one. I'm not going to sit here and say Russell Wilson had a bad game. He did. I'm not going to sit here and say that he had a good game, because he didn't. He had a bad game. He did have a bad game. Was it his fault that we lost this game? No. Not at all. Was it the defense's fault? No. Not at all. Defense did their job. Held the Chiefs to 19 points, and we lost. When you hold the Chiefs to 19 points, you better believe you're going to win that game. I mean, I don't know how we managed to still lose this game. But, I mean, I don't have anything to say. Is this on Russell Wilson, though? I would say maybe 30% of this loss was on him. He could have played better. He could have avoided a couple of sacks. He could have made some better throws, better decision making. But am I going to sit here and blame him? No. People that I am going to start blaming, though, is our receiving core. I mean, we should have had... Right now, we should have so many weapons. And our receiving core and tight end group can't stay healthy for the last at least 4 seasons, maybe 5. I mean, we're down Tim Patrick. We're down KJ Hamler. He's not even on the team anymore. These are, we're missing guys. We're just missing them. And Courtland Sutton isn't that good. I'm going to just sit here and say it. He's not that good. He had that one really great season, but he's not that good. And it pains me to say that because, he's a great player, but he's just not an elite target. He can't get separation. He seems slow. Jerry Jeudy, I feel like teams are starting to figure him out a little bit. He's really good, in the open space, but I feel like teams are figuring him out, and it's just getting more difficult for him each year. We had a pretty good run game. We abandoned it for, because we were getting down points, but, I would say the first half, we were doing really good in the run game. Easy, look at Javonte. He's getting 5.2. He had a very big clutch, I think, 3rd or 4th down run. We went for it on the first drive, after like getting all the way down the field, making a statement, and then we don't kick the field goal. I feel like with the Chiefs, when you got an opportunity to get points, I know field goals aren't going to win you a game against the Chiefs, but going into the first quarter tied, that's a big accomplishment. You know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes didn't even have that great of a game. He just didn't. But I will say, the Broncos' loss was on the receiving core and the offensive line in the pass game. I don't know what kind of blocking coverages they were calling this game, but it was not anything to protect Russell Wilson. He was getting pressured big time. A lot of times I saw Chris Jones up against a tight end. Like, what? Can someone help? You know what I mean? In the run game, we were doing really good, though. Mike McGlinchey had his worst game of this season. He was just not good this game. He got away with a lot of holding penalties. Constantly getting beat. It was just not a good game for him. He was overstepping, over anticipating, and just getting beat. But yeah, that was pretty bad. Travis Kelce, no one was covering him. Why we were in zone, makes no sense. It's like we weren't. When you play certain teams, you have to have one guy follow their main guy. It's just common sense, and we don't do that. We just don't do that. Travis Kelce was continuously not being covered. It's not like he was juking out, the defender. It's just a matter of he runs his route. And I feel like his plays are just really, really good due to the play calling that it's called. Because he's running a route that's completely open because of other threats downfield or in the flat. So, he's in. It would make sense if Travis Kelce wasn't, a big name person running these routes. But because he's a big name person running these routes, easy routes, it makes him look really good. It's just because no one's on him. He had one really, really good catch, though. I will give him that. His other 8 receptions, complete basic jogging his routes. Nothing special. But yeah, this game, we couldn't score. We couldn't get into. The offense was continuously stalling. Bad play calling on the offensive side. It was really bad play by the receivers. No one getting open. Offensive line doing a horrible job. So yeah, it's going to make Russell Wilson look really bad. But did he have a bad game? Yes. But he had a bad game because of other people. And yeah, it was just a bad game. Easy, very easy win that we could have got on them. But once again, we choke. Next, we have Sunday morning against the Ravens and the Titans. This game was close, back and forth. 18-3 going into the first half. I was like, oh, the Ravens got this in the bag. And then the Titans kind of come out of nowhere. 13. Oh, by the way, I did get the Broncos and Chiefs game right. I did get this game wrong. I picked the Titans. At the end of the third quarter, 13-15. Kind of looks like the Titans are going to do something, and then, Ryan Tannehill gets hurt. The fact that Ryan Tannehill getting hurt is the only reason why the Ravens won this game is insane. The fact they had to put Malik Willis in there. Wow. Lamar didn't have that great of a game. Neither did the run game for, the Ravens. It kind of stalled. They were just getting brick-walled, really, by that D-line, by the Titans. Derrick Henry, he had a really good game, though. You got to give him props. This game, like I said, it came down to the very end. I feel like if Ryan Tannehill didn't get hurt, this game would have been won. I think a lot of special teams plays, I believe Justin Tucker got a kick blocked or something. It was a lot going on. But as you can see here, the Ravens should have really won this game by a lot. The fact that they barely won this, that's kind of sad. They should have been up at least 2 or 3 scores. But easy win, like I said. Very lucky that the Titans lost Tannehill for the end of the game right there. Next, we're going to go to the first 12 o'clock game with the Commanders and the Falcons. I did get this game wrong. I did pick the Falcons. I thought, that's the last time I'm probably going to pick the Falcons. I thought maybe they could do something. But, of course, when I don't pick the Commanders, Sam Howell turns into a god. Every 5 throws, he throws a touchdown. Run game for both teams was very absent. Nothing going on. This game was a very defensive, boring game. Not to mention that Desmond Ridder sucks. 3 picks. He's just straight giving the Commanders this win. Just a very stupid. I don't see how people still are riding with Desmond Ridder. I just don't see it. But it is what it is. As you can see here, the possession time, the Falcons had 13 more minutes, and they couldn't do nothing with it. So, very disappointing for the Falcons. I think a very big steal of a win for the Commanders. Here's a big upset with this one. The 49ers and the Browns. Deshaun Watson didn't even play this game. You had Chris McCaffrey, Trent Williams, and Debo come out of the game with injuries. No one stepped up. When these 3 guys went down, no one stepped up. Brock Purdy for sure didn't step up. He didn't crank it up a notch like he needed to. Horrible passer rating through a pick, 125. It's horrible. Especially when your main guys are out, you got to make something happen. The fact that P.J. Walker is out here winning the game, for the Browns, straight pioneer at this point in the league. But, this was a steal for the Browns. This is a pathetic loss, I feel like, for the 49ers. The fact that you got to rely on 2 weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Where's George Kittle? Where's Brandon Ayuk? Is anyone going to come up and, make a play? No one's going to come up and make a play. 17 points against the Browns defense is something that it's bad. You do have, one of, in my opinion, the best D lineman, top 3 D linemen in the league with Myles Garrett, but this is a very pathetic loss, I feel like, for the 49ers. Let this slip away big time. Next we have the Saints and the Texans. I did get this game wrong as well. I did pick the Saints. No. Who did you pick here? I did pick the Saints. The Texans did win. Derek Carr played horrible. C.J. Stroud had a pretty decent game. Alvin Kamara didn't do anything. I feel like what happened to Alvin Kamara after that insane 5 or 6 touchdown game? I haven't seen nothing from him. Like, what is he doing? Devin Singletary, the fact that he's even on the Texans have such a random roster. Once they get a decent GM to put together an actual roster, this team could do something. They just have a bunch of random guys on the Texans. This is why the Texans suck. But they're out here beating the Saints with a random roster. The Saints really choked this one. I feel like this game was lost just on, the lack of defense, lack of pressure, lack of run game. There's a lot of factors, Derek Carr also, he gets a lot of garbage yards like Matt Ryan used to get. So that helps. But pretty big upset, in my opinion, for the Texans to come in and steal that. This game isn't really that, entertaining here. This game looked like it was going to be something. At the end of the first quarter, Panthers are up 14-0. At the end of the half, they're down 7. You know what I mean? The Dolphins know how to just turn it on. You know what I mean? When they need to get going, they get going. But, yeah, I think the defense, it's hard to stop this team. And if you're not going to put up points, it's hard to compete with the Dolphins. But the Dolphins just can't get down against some like really high-powered teams, because then they won't be able to, come back. But very easy win for the Dolphins. They just had to quit messing around in the first quarter, and then it was up from there. But yeah, very very easy win for the Dolphins here. Pretty similar, possession time, just double the points. But yeah, this was a very easy win, I feel like, for the Dolphins. Did anyone really have the Panthers winning that game? Let's be honest here. Next we have the Seahawks and the Bengals. I did get this game correct, and the last game. I picked the Bengals here. Joe Burrow actually had an okay game. Not a lot of yards, but very accurate with the football. Other than that one pick, Geno Smith had 2 picks, which really dramatically helped the Bengals just kind of seal this win. Joe Mixon, once again, non-existent. This was just a very slow, methodical game. It was close though. At the end of the third quarter, Seahawks are winning by the Seahawks are losing by a point. But they just couldn't pull it off. Geno Smith, obviously 2 picks, crucial, very crucial for this game. But pretty easy win, I feel like, for the Bengals. It was close, but it's just a matter of they weren't executing. If they were able to execute, this game would have been a blowout, low-key. Next game, I did pick the Jaguars to win this game, just because Anthony Richardson was not playing. Gardner Minshew comes in, 329, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdowns and interception on 181 yards. Zach Moss, like I said, the Colts and the Texans are in a very similar situation. Both random rosters, a lot of just, nothing to put out. The Jaguars, they can put up some points, very, very, what's going on here? What is going on here? Okay, random. But I just don't see the Colts being... they have more wins than the Broncos, let's be real here, but this team is just... The Colts and the Texans, man, they just have very random rosters, a lot of random players. They need to get it just in one sync. If they get it in sync, they're going to have a very dangerous team. But when you keep just adding these old veteran players that no one wants, you're going to lose games. And next we have the last 12 o'clock game with the Vikings and the Bears. I did get this game wrong. I did pick the Bears. This game was close. I feel like this game, I would have got it right, if Justin Fields didn't get hurt. I don't know how long Justin Fields is going to be hurt. But Tyson Bagent, he's not the guy. Kirk Cousins is not having that great of a season this year. I thought he was going to kind of be balling out. He was balling out the first 2 weeks, kind of down slope from there. Run game for both teams is obviously not going to be existent, but this was a very, defensive game. And like I said, I do believe the Bears would have won if Justin Fields didn't get hurt. As you can see about the possession time, the Bears had 11 more minutes, 11 more minutes, 6 less points. That's not good. But yeah, I mean, you can't really blame the back quarterback for the Bears, but at the same time, the Bears, Colts, Texans, these are teams that have just garbage rosters, no star players. You got one or two that are just carrying the team, and you just can't have that consistently in the NFL in order to win a game. But yeah, I feel like the Vikings just got really lucky on this one, very lucky. Next, we have the 3 o'clock games with the Patriots and the Raiders. Got this game correct. I'm pretty sure no one picked the Patriots to win this game. But, yeah, Mac Jones hasn't thrown a touchdown, I believe, in a month. That's not good. Jimmy Garoppolo, he didn't have a great game either. The Patriots just have a really bad team. Everyone wants to clown Bill Belichick. Maybe for his drafting, yes. But for the roster, I mean, this team is horrible. Just straight trash. Josh Jacobs had an okay game. He didn't have any touchdowns and very low average per carry. But this was a very easy win, for the Raiders. The Patriots are just so bad of a team that it's almost like hard to evaluate them because there's so many people coming in and out and there's no talent. Very easy win for the Raiders. Next we have the Lions and the Bucks. I did get this game correct. The Buccaneers did not show out in their really cool uniforms, throwback. They just came out, kicked a couple field goals. That's it. Jared Goff had a really good game, 107. People got to start looking at Jared Goff and maybe put him in the MVP category for this year. Jared Goff is playing great. People don't really see that because you got lame-os like, I'm not even going to say his name, but, you're going to have some people that ain't really doing the things that Jared Goff is doing this year. So, Jared Goff is cooking, That's why the Lions are 5-1, low-key. Baker Mayfield didn't have a great game. The rushing game for both teams was obviously non-existent. Defense was really good on both sides, though, but Mike Evans, I need to see him make some plays. I need to see Baker Mayfield make some plays. They don't have a running back. Saquon could very easily go to the Bucs if they make a couple moves that could, maybe change the team around, but it's missing a lot. It's missing a lot on the Bucs. The possession time, 13 less minutes. You're not going to win. The Lions just demolished them psychologically, and this was a very well put game. Next we have the Cardinals and the Rams. I did get this game correct. I did pick the Rams. I, for whatever reason, just felt like the Rams were going to win this game, and they did. The running back, Kyren Williams, probably had his best game in his entire career. Probably the best game he's ever going to have. 8 yards to carry, a touchdown. He was playing lights out. Cooper Kupp, 7 receptions, 150 for a touchdown. Pretty insane. Very similar stats, but yeah, the Cardinals just can't do anything. Couldn't get anything going. That's another thing too. This Cardinals offense is a joke. When you don't go out and score any points in the second half, against the Rams defense, you're not going to win any game. Next, we have the last 3 o'clock game with a big upset with the Eagles and the Jets. The Jets came out here. This game was lost on the Eagles offense. 3 turnovers for Jalen Hurts. Really bad. DeAndre Swift, 10 carries on 18 yards and a fumble. Horrible game. Zach Wilson didn't even play that good. He didn't even play that good. He just didn't turn the ball over. As you can see here by the stats, the Jets have less first downs, less third down conversions. They were 0 for 1 on fourth downs. No rushing for this entire game. They had less passing yards. They had less sacks. They had 3 picks. They punted more. They had more penalties. They had less possession time, and they still beat the Eagles. The Eagles let this slip away. This was a very, very pathetic loss for the Eagles. Very pathetic. Next, we have Sunday night with the Giants and the Bills. I did get this game correct. I did pick the Bills. This game was a lot closer than it should have been. That's all I got to say. Tyrod Taylor, horrible audible before the second half. I don't know what he was thinking there. That was really, really, really stupid. And then they got just screwed over at the end with the non-pass interference penalty. That was insane. But the Giants, they almost had it. They really did. They got very lucky, Josh Allen didn't even play that good. Saquon played pretty decent. James Cook played decent. Stephon Diggs, 10 yards of carry. 10 yards of catch, pretty good. But this was a very, very lucky win that the Bills had. If Daniel Jones is playing, if he doesn't audible right there, if that pass interference is called, this game is a completely different thing with 2 plays and 1 player not playing. You got to put an asterisk on this Bills win because that was not a win. Next we have Monday night with the Cowboys and the Chargers. This game kind of surprised me. I thought the Chargers were going to blow out the Cowboys. It really was. I did pick the Chargers to win, by the way. The Cowboys by far have the best uniforms. The ones they were using on Monday, man, those are clean. Very clean. Prescott had an okay game. He had one passing touchdown. He rushed for that one. Justin Herbert, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Once again, not clutch. He couldn't clutch up against the Cowboys. In fact, almost aided them. No run game for this. Eckler was getting stopped and contained. Pollard was getting just complete roadblocked. CeeDee Lamb and Keenan Allen were balling out, making some insane catches, getting open, setting up some clutch plays. But this was a pretty lackluster, I feel like, ending. The ending was really good. Not saying it wasn't good, but it was like anticlimactic almost. You know what I mean? Justin Herbert just can't clutch up. He just can't. And the Chargers never can clutch up. They are known for not clutching. And it didn't change there. Very easy win. I feel like the score doesn't really represent that, but I feel like it's a very easy win for the Cowboys. The 2 teams that were on bye were the Packers and the Steelers. Only two teams were on bye. But that's pretty much all the games for this week. Like I said, there was some really close ones. But at the same time, it was a little bit all over the place sometimes. And a lot of upsets, though. A lot of upsets. Really bad rosters, you can see that now. Next, we're going to go on to week 7 picks. We got Thursday night, the Jaguars and the Saints. This is going to be a close game. I feel like this can go either way. The Saints are coming off of a pathetic loss over the Texans. The Jaguars are, coming off of a big division win. I think I'm going to have to trust my gut and pick the Jaguars here. Am I going to be surprised if the Saints win? No. Next, we're going to go to the 12 o'clock games, and we have the Browns and the Colts. The Browns, I don't know if Deshaun's playing. Anthony Richardson is out for the year. Can Gardner Minshew beat the Browns' defense? Can P.J. Walker beat the Colts? Can Gardner Minshew beat the Browns? This is what's going to come down to. This is a 50-50 game. No one's going to be watching this game. I feel like the Browns' defense, for whatever reason, is going to cause some problems for the Colts. I'm going to pick the Browns here. Next, we have the Bills and the Patriots. We're picking the Bills all day. If the Patriots come out and upset the Bills, I would be very, very, very surprised. The Raiders and the Bears. I'm picking the Raiders. I mean, Justin Fields is hurt. What can you say? Commanders and the Giants, division game. Well, the Bills and the Patriots were a division game, but Commanders and the Giants. This is going to be a close game. Both very inconsistent teams. I feel like Daniel Jones is going to play this game. But the Commanders do have a pretty nasty... Oh, man, this is a 50-50 game. I really wish I knew if Daniel Jones was going to play or not. If he's not playing, I'm picking the Commanders. If he is playing... Dang it. I think I'm going to have to pick the Commanders. I think their D-line is just too much for the Giants offense. Falcons and the Bucks. Both coming off really pathetic losses. Very poor performances by both teams. This could be a toss-up. I think I'm going to have to go with the Falcons. As much as I don't want to pick them, I think I'm going to have to pick the Falcons. Next, we have the Lions and the Ravens. I'm picking the Lions here. I feel like they're a more consistent team. The Ravens make a lot of stupid mistakes. I'm picking the Lions. Next, we have the 3 o'clock games with the Cardinals and the Seahawks. I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks. Would I be surprised if the Cardinals win? No. But I feel like the Seahawks are coming off of a really bad game, and they usually bounce back. Next, we have the Steelers and the Rams. Steelers or the Rams. Steelers are coming off of a bye, so they're going to be fully rested. Rams are coming off of a big win. This is a toss-up. I think the Rams can win this game. Am I going to be surprised if the Steelers win, though? Not at all. But I think the offense is a little bit better than the Steelers' defense. Next, we have the Chargers and the Chiefs. This is also a 50-50. We almost beat the Chiefs, and we scored once. Chargers can put up points. This is such a... I hate that I have to pick them, but you know who I'm picking. Last 3 o'clock game, Broncos and the Packers. I'm picking the Broncos. I feel like we can beat Jordan Love. I feel like we can at least get a pick, maybe a strip sack. I'm picking the Broncos. Next, we have Sunday night with the Eagles and the Dolphins, probably the game of the week. This is going to be an amazing game. Eagles are coming off an embarrassing loss. Dolphins are coming off of an easy win. Dang. That's a tough one. I'm picking the Dolphins just because I think that the defensive players are still going to be a little injured, and you can't have an injured secondary against this Dolphins team. I don't know. This is going to be a great game. I feel like it's going to be a great game. I'm picking the Dolphins. I'm not going to be surprised if the Eagles win. 49ers and the Vikings is the Monday night last game of the week. I think I'm going to pick the 49ers. I think the players that are injured should be back. Justin Jefferson is still going to be out for, I think, 4 to 6 more weeks. But I'm picking the 49ers here. We have a lot of teams on bye. We have the Panthers, the Bengals, the Cowboys, Texans, the Jets, and the Titans. We have 6 teams on bye for week 7. That's kind of crazy. So a lot less games. But yeah. I think this game is. I think this next week is gonna have a lot of great games. Obviously, that Sunday night is gonna be insane. I don't know. It's a lot of decent games. The Jags and the Saints. I feel like a lot of people are not going to give that game a lot of credit, but I feel like it's going to be a pretty entertaining game. I feel like the Broncos can beat the Packers. If we can't, then this season's over. I'm still debating if I'm going to sell my tickets because I don't want to see my team get destroyed by a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? But we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. I just really hope we can figure something out because this is not it. Losing is not it. I'm tired of it. It's been 7 years, 7 straight seasons. We can't get anything going or stay healthy. I'm tired of it. Just done. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. This was like I said, a pretty week. But man, we're almost halfway into the season already. That sucks. Especially when my team sucks. That just makes it worse. But we're gonna see what next week's looking like. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of great games. I feel like my picks are gonna be pretty decent. My pick percentage is still at 57. It's staying there. It needs to go up, and I can't get it up. But we'll see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully your team got a dub. Hopefully your team gets a dub, except if you're a Chiefs fan. But I'll see you next Wednesday for Week 7 and Week 8 picks. Deuces.